Hey guys, it's Sharon, Little Britain Company. And today, for your viewing pleasure, or hopefully it's your viewing pleasure, I am continuing with my trip videos. Trip videos, sure. And today I'm going to show you some of the gluten-free foods that we got. Now, even if you're not gluten-free, it's kind of fun to, I mean, if you don't live in England, it's kind of fun to see what's there. I always like doing that. I forgot to turn my lights on. Turn my lights on. There we go. A little bit brighter. So I love going to England because I know that Little Britain and I will be able to eat. We'll be able to eat. Oh. So, little story about that. So, coming back from this past week, coming back from the UK, we came back the day that IT problem hit. So I had already checked in myself and Little Brit. Big Brit, because he needed to use his green card, they need to verify that. You can't check him in early. He's got to go and do the check-ins there. All fine. But then when we got there, you need to get your boarding pass. And you go to the machines. They have a bunch of machines up. And we couldn't get our boarding passes. He couldn't get his. It wouldn't verify him. It said it wasn't, that his information didn't match. And then Little Brit and I couldn't get our boarding passes either. Nope, every time I tried to check in, it would say you have to check in. So we went and found somebody. We were seeing queues begin with the different people, and we had to have someone manually put us all in. It was all fine. We were all fine to go in, but someone had to manually put us in, and I think that was when they were beginning to see the disruption to the airlines. So we had also put in a couple days beforehand the gluten-free meals, and just to make it easier, because we booked everything together, we just said, well, all three have gluten-free meals. Big Brit's fine with that. He eats gluten-free with us most of the time, because you don't separate meals when we're cooking. So the flight was delayed by 2 hours, and honestly, by the time we got to the flight, so we were supposed to leave at 5:15. I think that's right. 5:15, 5:30. And it was 5:30, and it was delayed until 7:30. It happens. As long as I get home safely, I'm fine. And then, when they finally got us over there, they actually had us. I have never done this on a big plane, on some small prop planes. So they actually had to take us on a shuttle out to the plane and have us go up this huge set of stairs. I'm like, trying to carry our luggage. I had luggage. I had my, I had my carry-on, not my luggage, but I had my carry-on, and I had my my bag, and I'm going one step at a time. I'm not some little young thing who can just grab my luggage and run with it. So it was a big flight of stairs, and I was quite surprised that they did it that way. I guess they had to. I'm sure that they had to. They wouldn't have done it if they didn't have to. But wow. So they couldn't get a window. They couldn't pull the plane in. It is what it is. We were on a plane, the Virgin Atlantic, called the Purple Rain, which I thought was very interesting. We'll do the purple for it. The stewardesses were absolutely lovely. They really, really were. I have been on flights, not Virgin, I don't think. I really like flying Virgin Atlantic. But I've been on flights where the stewardesses have not been pleasant. But these ladies were absolutely wonderful. And it came to, and then it took a while for us to get in there. It took even longer. A side note, on the way out, we didn't get out on time because apparently there were some people misbehaving in first class, and they kicked them off the plane. But it took about an hour to get through the process and get them kicked off the plane and find their luggage and so on. So we were late coming in, and then we were late going out. And again, nobody's fault. Well, on the way out, maybe those people could have behaved better, but we didn't hear the disruption. The pilot just told everyone what was going on. Just to, people need to know what's going on. Communication's key. So anyway, so we we're finally in the air. It took a long time for us to even taxi out and get up. I don't know how late we really were. I think we're 3 hours late by the time we finally got in there. We were running about 3 hours late. So they start bringing around, they're everybody's settling in, and about not even an hour in, they're beginning to bring around dinner service because they were going to be doing dinner service. And one of the ladies comes up to me and says, I am so sorry. We have looked everywhere. We know that you're gluten-free. We cannot find the gluten-free meals. Apparently, they had not made it onto the flight. And I'm sure that has something to do with all the disruptions and everything. So they were like, we're going to figure this out. We're not going to get you to starve. And I was like, it's fine. It'll be what it is. Because they had a grilled chicken, but it had barbecue sauce on it. And the barbecue sauce, which is pre-done, had wheat. So, so they did have gluten-free snacks. They brought us a couple of gluten-free snacks. And then what we think they did was they went into first class and brought us each chili, which sounded lovely, but it turned out it was very spicy chili. I mean, jalapeno peppers in the chili, spicy. And I don't do spicy. It upset. And I said, this was so lovely of you. It really, really was. And you guys are great. But could I have a glass of milk? It's part of my mouth. I think I had 2 bites, and that was all I could have. Without the chilies, it would have been lovely, I'm sure. It was just way too spicy for me. And they were lovely. They brought that over. They brought us over some popsicles because it was so spicy. Later, they brought us like a pile of snacks, and they brought my husband and myself champagne. So it was Big Brit, Little Brit, and myself. And then our son Tom he wasn't in the same row. He was about 2 rows back. So he wasn't kind of affected by this whole thing, but Virgin Atlantic did a lovely job, and they did their very best to solve the issues. And I have nothing but praise for them, really. So we get in. You're getting the whole story now. Sorry. You can fast forward if you don't want to see this part. So we get in. It is like 11:30 at night. We're exhausted. I was able to sleep because really it's 11:30 here, but in the UK it's like 6 a.m. or 6:30. So I actually was able to do some sleeping. Little Brit got some sleep. Big Brit got a little bit of sleep. All of us were sick. Big Brit was the sickest. I mean, he's coughing and he's feeling horrible. It was an interesting trip back. So he was feeling a little bit better. We were anxious to get here because we knew we could get like Tylenol cold and flu, which I find to be very effective. But you can't get anything even remotely like that in the UK. They are very, very controlling with medication. And absolutely, I get that. I just want to get my meds. I knew there was something here that would help us. So 11:30, Big Brit, Little Brit, and I got through customs like that. Really, really fast. It was easy. We all had, all our ID and everything. We're through. We're waiting. Well, Tom had to go through the ESTA process, which is much longer. Lots of people, people on vacations and stuff. So he's going through. I would check on him. He was pretty far back. There were like 2 different planes that had come in. Big Brit and Little Brit are trying to get the luggage. That took forever to come off the planes. And then Tom never came through. So I finally turned around. I was like, it's taking him a really long time to get through customs. So I turned around and there's almost nobody there. And certainly he's not there. And I lost my ever little mind. I really did. I was looking around for agents. I found somebody. I was like, I sent Little Brit walking around. I said, see if he's over there with the crowd of people. Maybe he went over there and didn't think to stop with us. He's not over there. I'm stopping whoever I can. I'm waiting for this one guy. He's a Virgin Airlines. And then somebody else comes through. I'm like, you all need to, my son is missing. Where is he? What has happened? Has he been detained? Why? And so it took a little while to figure out what was going on, but he had been detained. Not other than he's young, and so he's visiting us. He doesn't have a job back home at the moment. He's just between. He doesn't need it at the moment. And he wasn't carrying much money with him because he's here with us. So why would he carry any money? We finally have our son with us for a few months. And so that was the big trigger. Even though he said, look, my dad and my little brother and my stepmom are right there. Look, they're right there. I was sitting right there. So anyway, finally, because I was raising quite a ruckus. I might have said, honestly, I was so tired when I did the video the other day. I might have said this before. So I was raising quite a ruckus. And so the one gentleman who had been very nice and said, he had come out and said, yes, he is back there. He's fine. It's all going to be fine. And I said, So finally, the person who had detained him, the customs officer, comes out and he's like, well, we need to find his luggage. I need him to point out his luggage. And I said, so he can search it. And I was like, look, it's not going to do you any good to search his luggage. He probably doesn't even know what's in there, because we sat down, put all the suitcases around us, and we repacked. I mean, he could have my clothes in there for all you know, because we were distributing weight between the souvenirs and the other things. We had to sit down, and just everything was kind of mixed up and mixed in. This poor guy, he was like, okay, everybody come with me, grab all the luggage. So we went back there, and he was very pleasant. I mean, I get his reasoning. So they're going through everything. He's got another person with me. They're trying to get through it quickly, because once he detains someone, there are processes they have to go through. I get it. He's got a job to do. He's doing, and honestly, I want him to do his job. The fact that, this wasn't one of the cases doesn't mean that it couldn't have been. I get that. Although my husband made a good point, in England, people start with like a month of vacation, and they have much higher starting wages, and Tom was without a job simply because his he was still living with his mom, and they moved across country, and so he had to leave his job behind. There's good reasons. I know, too much information, but it just seems, in some ways, I'm sure this kind of thing happens sometimes, but so, and the free healthcare, it's a big one over there. So, he was very pleasant. We're getting through all of this, and we're all actually, at this point, the customs officer and the rest of us, we're all kind of laughing about it and just, okay, whatever. They have to go through every book. They have to rifle through them. Sure, go for it. And they're about done. They're on the last case. They're going through this last case, and he pulls out this little green thing, and he was like, he gets very serious all of a sudden. He's, what's this? And Big Brit and I just lost it. We're just laughing so hard. We had just found it the night before, because it was one of little Brit's small Nerf darts, because the boy shoots those things everywhere. It's like glitter. They just land everywhere. We were like, how did this make it through? And so there, excuse me, we're losing it. And we're trying to stay through it. And I finally got out, it's a Nerf ball. They just explain. And I don't know whether he has children of his own. That poor man just went, just dropped his head. He was like, we're done. We're done. Puts the ball back in there. He's like, we're just, I said, do you want me to just pack that up? He said, sure. So we were done. And he's like, just wait over there. I got to finish the paperwork. And we were on our way. By the time we left, it was about 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning is a bit late. To drive another 4.5 hours home. And we were all sick. We were exhausted. Big Brit was exhausted. So we basically kind of skipped down the road, meaning Big Brit would drive until he was too tired. I would take over. I would drive until I was too tired. At once or twice we stopped for like a 15-20 minute break. And then so we finally got home just before 7 a.m. It was something. It was a full 24 hours of travel, and not easy travel. But we got home. So that is my saga and my story of our travels. It was, and it was all not bad. I have no complaints about any of it. You just gotta let the guys do what they have to do. And I do see that we're almost 15 minutes in, and I haven't shown you anything, and I'm so sorry. But if you didn't, y'all skip if you don't. Now, are you ready to see some food? All right. So let me show you what, this is a little bit of what we brought back with us because we've already eaten some of it. And I tried not to, but there is, behind this screen is my little fridge that I keep in here. And it has even more gluten-free foods in it. So it has like a full loaf of rounded loaf of bread that tastes like delicious bread, delicious artisan bread. Warburton is a brand in the UK. I think you can get some of it here, and it is amazing. It is amazing. But we also brought back, like the regular stores do, gluten-free cupcakes and lemon loaves and oh my gosh, muffins and hot cross buns and scones, and we brought back a little bit of everything. Brioche, but gluten-free. It is amazing. It tastes delicious. It tastes like not just regular bread. It tastes like really delicious bread, and breaded products. just amazing. So that's some of what we found. So let's see some of other things that we found. So you're going to find with gluten-free, it's called Free From for the most part. And this one is the gingerbread man. I had to get the gingerbread man. I really like gingerbread. Little Bird doesn't. Darn, he won't be able to eat any. We get Char here, but we don't get all of the Char products. So we found these milk cakes, and they're really, really good. They're just cream. It's almost like the ice cream ones, but that's cream inside. And then the outer cakes taste very similar to like an ice cream one. Lemon creams. Again, this is just the regular Asda. By the way, Asda's Walmart. So Walmart can do this. They do it there. They certainly know how to do these products. So this was an Asda lemon cream. I fully anticipate they're going to be just as delicious. Which one was this one? This one was also Asda. So at Christmas time, I would love to get gingerbread like this. Asda, if you're paying attention, or Walmart, if you're paying attention. What else do we have in here? Oh, again, these are Chars. This is Maxi. These are like a cookie. I can't even think. I don't think I can pronounce that. Sorisi. But it really looks to us like their cookies aren't as sweet as ours often, like the cookie piece to it. It's called a biscuit. And so this one has this nice, or it should have this nice, chocolatey filling to it. I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm a chocolate girl. And I have to be cautious about how much I have. But I will say the ingredients are, you don't get as much of the negative ingredients in these. This one, these are just plain, they call them digestive biscuits. It's almost like a cookie, but again, it doesn't, it's not as sweet. So a lot of people eat these with butter. That's how my husband eats them. I generally don't put butter on them, on my digestives, depending on which ones they are, because they all have a different taste to them. So this one was, again, Asda. It looks like a lot of the Asda stuff came back. Which one's this one? More Asda. Jammy Wheels. It's like a Linzer. It's like a Linzer. So you're going to have raspberry. Yep. You got the raspberry flavor in there. You got these delicious Jammy Wheels. What's the calories on this? Energy. So they're not using the same terms of calories. They use, well, no, they do. They have kilograms here. They do have cal. They have KJ and they have kcal. So it's 8 servings. Means each one of these is a serving. That can't be right. 497 kcals. Oh. No. 88. That's if you eat the entire thing. It's 88 calories per biscuit. Per cookie. Okay, what else do we have in here? Hobnobs. These are hobnobs. Okay, so this is McVitie's. We also had, I think, Tesco's. We have some Tesco's in the fridge that Little Brit has already almost decimated because he really loves these. So this is Hobnobs. Is this the one that has this should have orange in it. So the other ones have like an orange gelatin. So you get the biscuit and then like this orange gelatin almost disc, and then the chocolate on top. Very, very good. Oh. These are plain hobnobs. What if these just say they're milk chocolate, so these may not have the orange. We had the orange ones too. And then this one is just the hobnobs with nothing. This is more of a little Brit, really. He does not have my sweet tooth, thank goodness. Oh, I didn't know this made it back. Marks and Spencer. Because generally, I just have a bite of chocolate at night. Like one small serving, which is never a whole candy bar. This one is... This is considered 2 servings. 227 calories for each half bar. It's for half a bar. But I don't eat even a half bar. I'll eat like the top part here. Like this is broken into, you know, just like a Hershey's would be. So I'll just eat like top section. Little taste. Well, not right now because there's such good food here. Okay, so then we got tea biscuits. I don't think I've ever had the Sharon tea biscuits, so I'm interested to see what they taste like. They very much, to us, look very much like crackers. So it's like almost a very, not very sweet cookie, or you could call it a very sweet cracker. Just a biscuit. Also Sharon is, I believe, a German brand. And Sharon has tons out there. We just don't normally see them in the stores. So these are the custard creams. Don't they look good? So good. Custard. Oh, so we actually did buy, these are, this is the Tesco brand. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember what they're called. This is called, it's not on here and I can't remember the name of it. It's like, it's not called a biscuit or anything. Oh, some of my British friends, would you please put it in the comments? I cannot remember what it's called. Anyway, we actually had some of these in a package that should have been good until we got back. But when we pulled it out of the fridge to start packing everything, it got mildew on it. So we did buy the batter, this Tesco's brand, and looking, let's see. They tell you in centigrade, not in Fahrenheit. Yorkshire pudding. This is called Yorkshire pudding. I know that seems strange to Americans. Probably feels really strange, and it is just a delicious, almost like a roll. So good, so good. Okay, what's next? This one got a wee bit crushed, but I am really looking forward to it. It's cake. They had all sorts of cakes, all sorts of little. I can't even tell you how much they had. This one, 4 raspberry ripple slices. Very much looking forward to doing this one. None of this that I'm pulling out right now needed refrigeration. Although now that we're here, now that I've done this, I will probably freeze some of it because we can't eat all this. Much as I might like to. We can't eat all of it right now, so I'm going to freeze it just to make sure it doesn't go bad in its package. And then we got, this one crushed a little bit, Bakewells. Delicious little pies. Cherry. These are so good. So good. So this one was Sainsbury's. So the big stores there, you're going to find Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Marks and Spencer. Those all have grocery stores. Morrison's. We never got to the Morrison's, which was really disappointing. Asda, which had, this is what we have left, because we were eating while we were there, but we weren't throwing anything away. Asda, and I feel like I'm missing something. All right, so delicious little pies. And then Little Bert really wanted this one, little brambly apple pies, which is another, this is Aztecan. So good. We did actually have a lot of food from like other stores, Tesco's, Marks and Spencer, Sainsbury's. But again, it got eaten. It got eaten. It was delicious. One thing, if you haven't been to the UK, one thing that they do, which I find lovely, is that to ensure that people don't, that they're not constantly giving out bags, because that's just so bad for the environment, you have to pay for every single bag. So if you get to the store and you haven't brought your bags with you, you're going to be paying for a bag. They do that at places like Lidl. So, they do it a little bit here, but everybody there does it pretty much across the board. So you bring your bags, and people don't forget. They don't forget to bring bags because, you don't want to be, this is, by the way, very heavy. You don't want to be caught out and be at the store and have to buy a whole bunch of bags. So it does ensure that people are, being conscious about that. And I appreciate that. So that's it. You got my long story. You got my little bit of food. There's just so much deliciousness. Like I said, everywhere we went, we were able to eat. We were able to eat regular, normal food that we would want. And that, that for someone who's gluten-free, who really, someone who has that kind of an allergy, that's priceless. Absolutely priceless. So, that's all I have for you today. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. This is kind of this little one-off series that I'm doing. I hope you enjoy it. So the next one, I think I was going to do, my next thing was going to be crafts. But the crafts is waiting, because we stopped to do some cleaning when we got home. So it's taking me a little bit of time, but I very much want to show you what I purchased. Cannot wait to show you what I purchased. So for now, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Cheers.